We can also witness the various forms of cultural diversity in India. We can also experience these differences in the respective habitation, festivals and staple food adopted by the people. So, different forms of cultural diversity can be seen in India. There are differences in the respective habitation, festival and staple food that the Indian people are used to. But whatever differences we have, we are culturally and emotionally attached to one and other. It is the base of our greatness. But whatever are the differences, we are culturally and emotionally attached to each other. The main challenges for India's cultural diversity are regionalism, communalism, casteism, linguistic, local interest and nationalism. And the cultural diversity in India is in form of different things and causes the challenges of regionalism, communalism, casteism, linguistic, local interest and nationalism. In case of the nation state's relationship with community identities, the Indian case was neither the assimilationist nor the integrationist model. So India neither adopted the assimilationist or the integrationist model of nation-state relationship with community identities. From its very beginning, the independent Indian state has ruled out an assimilationist model. The demand of such a model has been expressed by some sections of the dominant Hindu community. Although national integration is a constant theme of state policy, we have adopted the assimilationist model, which has been accepted by the majority of the Indians, and national integration model is a state policy of the country. India has not been integrationist to full extent. The constitution declares the state to be a secular state, but religion, language and other such factors are not banished from the public sphere. Although the state is a secular state as per the declaration of the constitution, but the differences on the ground of religion, language are there. These communities have been explicitly recognized by the state, by international standards. Very strong constitutional protection is offered to minority religion in India. India's problems have been more in the sphere of implementation and practice rather laws or principles. But on the whole, India can be considered a good example of a state nation, though it is not entirely free from the problems common to nation states. India can be made a state nation instead of nation state because of the following reasons. A perusal of events that took place after independence makes it clear that India has to become state nation in lieu of nation state. The British had left behind them 3 giant presidencies, including other small presidencies, a number of princely states and a number of provincial states, all scattered and disorganized on the basis of ascriptive identities. So after independence, when the British left the country, number of presidencies were there. three big presidencies were there, and small presidencies were there. A number of princely states were there, and a number of provincial states were also there, which were all disorganized on the basis of ascriptive identities. Mumbai and Madras presidency were multilingual states with Marathi, Gujarati, Kannada and Konkani speaking people in Mumbai presidency, while Tamil, Telugu, Kannada and Malayalam speaking people in Madras presidency. So Mumbai and Madras, these two presidencies were multilingual. In Mumbai, in Mumbai presidency, Marathi, Gujarati, Kannada and Konkani were the languages that were spoken by the people, and in the Madras presidency, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada and Malayalam speaking people were found. These presidencies and princely states have also raised their claims for their reorganization on linguistic basis. In these circumstances, the Government of India has to constitute State Reorganization Commission and accepted its report on their reorganization. So, after independence, these presidencies and these princely states wanted to reorganize themselves, and they set up a claim on the Government of India. Therefore, the Government of India constituted the State Reorganization Commission and accepted its report on their reorganization. The reorganization of the provinces of India on linguistic basis had been one of the demands of the Indian National Congress in struggle against the British government. In Free India, the reorganization was forced up by the fast and death of Poti Srirama Mullu. So Poti Srirama Mullu, who fasted and because of it died, the reorganization of the Indian princely states was constituted. It generated chaotic situation in the provinces, and thus Telugu state of Andhra Pradesh was created. So his death created a havoc in the Telugu state of Andhra Pradesh, and because of it the state was created. In order to examine objectively and dispassionately the issue of reorganization of states, Government of India had constituted a commission, namely State Reorganization Commission in 1954. So the Reorganization Commission was set up in 1954 for the purpose of reorganization of the princely states, with Faisal Ali as chairman and two other members, Pandit Hari Dayanath Kurzu and Sardar Parikar. This commission carried out in-depth surveys and studies on the issue and submitted its report in September 1955, and thus a State Reorganization Act was passed in November 1956. In pursuance with the recommendations of Commission, the state and 6 union territories were created, and on the basis of the recommendations of the Reorganization Commission, the states and 6 union territories were created in the country. In 1961, Bombay state was bifurcated to form 2 states of Maharashtra and Gujarat. In 1962, the state of Nagaland was created. Thus, presently, there are 29 states and 7 union territories in Indian Federation. So, in 1961, the Bombay state was bifurcated to form 2 states of Maharashtra and Gujarat. In 1962, the state of Nagaland was created. Thus, presently, there are 29 states and 7 union territories in Indian Federation. more divisions are claimed and can be made on the basis of ascriptive identities.